Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Exide MasterClass Shakedown. This is a series of videos where we aim to get out of our comfort zones and really get into the technical aspects and details of automotive technology while giving you a few practical demonstrations as well.
Yes, together we will be bringing you a proper, in-depth explanation of all that you need to know to become an expert, from the leading technology in the automotive industry to the most crucial, fundamental building blocks of cars.
Today we're going to be talking about SUVs, what it means to have a 4x4 and whether you really need all-wheel drive to go off-road.
Except Sam, there's a problem. Neither of us are off-roading experts, so to say.
Yeah, I thought you'd probably say that. But don't worry, I've got us an expert. He's over there by your car. Only problem is, I told you to bring an all-wheel drive car, a 4x4.
Sam, this is the ultimate in modern day off-roading. It's got air conditioning, it's got electric seats, it's got a stereo I can plug my phone into, and it's got a turbocharged engine. What more do you need?
Well, yeah, what you say is true. It has all those things, and don't get me wrong, it's really nice to have them. But you missed one crucial point. Does it have four-wheel drive?
Sam, it's got me behind the wheel. I don't need four-wheel drive. And also, let's check out your ride. The only time I see these things are when they're going to drop the kids at school and back.
What are you talking about? This is the ultimate off-road machine. It has a 2.7-litre non-turbocharged engine, so you don't have to worry about anything braking. It has all-wheel drive, it has locking diffs, it has everything you'd need to be out here.
All right. Sam, just try keep up with me.
Let's do it. Now, we haven't taken complete leave of our senses. We're by no means comparing these two cars directly to each other. But we did choose them because they're two of the leading vehicles in their category. And while we won't be doing anything too extreme today, we want to find out just how far you can push a crossover SUV before needing the extra toys of a full-sized off-roader. But first, we had to meet up with our guide. Hey Ishan, good to see you again.
Hi Sam.
Hey.
You too.
Hi Ashan, nice to meet you.
You too, Ishraq.
I see you've got the map laid out in front of you. I hope you've got a nice course ready for us to tackle today.
Yes, we got quite an interesting couple of trails to run through.
Awesome.
And going to be loads of fun.
Excellent. Ashan, Sam and I were having a discussion about the vehicles we've brought. We were not sure about the suitability of my vehicle in particular for today's terrain and surface. What are your opinions on it?
Right. So both vehicles are capable as it is, right? And what's very important is that you all observe safety protocols and do it in a safe environment and have fun whilst doing it.
Before we get into it, is there anything we need to do or look around the cars before we set off?
Yes. So very important, first thing to do is you must do a walkabout and find out what your approach angles are, your crossover angles, your departure angles, and very important, your recovery points. So in the event you do get stuck, you know where to hook you all up and pull you all out of the situation. So let's go and have a look at the one at the rear. So here you have your recovery point at the rear, which is the most accessible and most sensible one to hook onto, because you're not going to damage any of your cosmetic items on the vehicle. But your front recovery point is placed pretty much behind the front buffer.
Hang on, let me get this straight. If I needed to be pulled out from the front, we'd have to dismantle the entire front of the vehicle just to get to the recovery point.
Exactly right.
It's either that or leave the vehicle behind, so let's just hope that we don't have to do that today.
Yeah.
Also, Ashan, I wanted to ask you about the ground clearance of the vehicle. Now, I see that Sam's vehicle is a little higher than mine, but what would you say about the ground clearance of my vehicle? Is it suitable for today's trekking?
It's good enough because at the end of the day, you need to know what your capabilities are based on what the vehicle can do and cannot do, right? So you need to understand what each of the vehicles, what kind of trail it can navigate through, and at what point to call it quits.
Okay, so the Prado obviously has better ground clearance than the CR-V, but is that the same thing as departure and approach angles?
In a nutshell, that's what we talk about. So let me just show you using this map. So if I keep the map here, at the end of where your tire is and angle it in line with the edge of your buffer, you can see your departure angle.
So does that mean that we can't put the car in a rut that has an angle that is more than that, and we're going to take the buffer off?
Exactly.
Does bringing the vehicle at an angle against the rut help in any such way?
It does, because that way you actually end up putting one tire in, whereas the other tire could be elevated off a rut, right? So that helps your keeping your ground clearance, your departure angle at a higher level. If you end up putting both wheels in the same rut, you're going to hit your rear and you're going to leave this behind.
All right.
So here again, I leave the map right at the bottom.
All right.
And your exhaust, see the angle is
All right.
a lot more shallower.
So I've got to be careful. But also one more thing is, what about the overhang of the vehicle? Now, I know that the modern day vehicles are having less overhang, as in from the front, the edge of the front tire or the edge of the rear tire to the ultimate rear end of the vehicle, the shortening and shortening. How does that help in clearing ruts, Ashan?
Okay, so each of these vehicles have different clearance levels, right? Some are longer, some of their wheelbases are placed here where you probably, a lot of these vehicles going for higher boot capacity, meaning you'll end up having a longer back end. So that again, you need to understand as drivers where your approach, crossover and departure angles are, and very important, what you're capable of doing with your vehicle and not to go and do what you shouldn't be doing.
All right. Sounds brilliant. I think, Sam, there's only one more thing that we need to do. We need to take the vehicles out and really see what they can do.
I have a feeling you're going to have to be a bit more careful than me, though.
All right. Yeah, I think so too. So Ashan, have you always been into off-roading, or is it something that you picked up recently?
Well, I've been pretty much doing it from the age of 8, joining my father, going into the estate, doing all the winching work for him as his spotter and co-driver. So that's pretty much been something that I grew up with. And 10 years back when I launched my company, that became part and parcel of one of our product ranges.
I love the road ahead, and all I see is I want to put the foot down and go as fast as I can. But I also am kind of understanding the concept of this trekking, of the exploration. Can you just explain a little bit about that for me and what the attraction is to people?
Yeah. So the main attraction for people like us is all about exploring uncharted territory, being sometimes the first to go into an area that probably nobody had been for ages. So off-road in general terms of to refer to is moment where we leave the tarmac and we start hitting a trail away from tarred roads, right? Now, what we are doing today is what we call a trail drive. So this is an established trail. So we are not cutting through forests or driving or creating new trails because it's very important people who are in this off-roading community to observe and also be very responsible with what they are doing.
So I know that sometimes when people think about the concept of off-road, they think about a vehicle, that has big wheels and lifted suspension and it has to be driven on the extreme. And I understand that that's like a completely built race car, but can people who have a SUV or something that is not so extreme enjoy the off-roading experience as well?
Oh yes, of course. So the concept or the thinking for a lot of people
of trailblazing
is, you need to have a big lifted vehicles and all these abilities that you need. Like we always say, you don't need to go to that extreme as long as you understand the capabilities of your vehicle and you do it up to that particular point. And up to that point, when I say that, you can do a lot with it.
All right, okay.
And here we are in a two-wheel or a front-wheel drive vehicle, and as you can see, you're already having fun.
Exactly. I wonder how Sam's enjoying the bumpy ride. I'm sure that vehicle is quite comfortable as well.
I was doing just fine, but to be honest, on the drive from Colombo to Ropatu, I envied Ishraq in the crossover. You see, the smaller car with its lower center of gravity is much easier to drive on road, and it handles vastly better too. The large full-size SUV wallows at the first sight of a corner, but once we got onto the rougher terrain, I could see exactly why they made it like they did. The comfort when the going got tough was just sublime. That said, I was finding it hard to keep up with Ishraq at times. It probably had something to do with him A, being a rally driver, and B, actually owning his car. The car I was behind the wheel of was generously loaned to us by Malki Rent-A-Car, and as the trail got narrower, I was having to be far more cautious with the wider car.
Ashan, now when I'm traveling on this off-road on the trek, I see certain ruts. Sometimes they're in the middle of the road, sometimes they're on the right, sometimes they're on the left. Is there a method to it? Is it something that comes with practice? You know, now I know that in a racing situation, what we try to do is we try to kind of load the weight of the car by getting it into a slide against the rut. Right? If the rut is on the left-hand side, we load the weight of the car to the right-hand side, so the wheel is not loaded up, so therefore the impact on the suspension is much less.
Right.
But now obviously off-roading, we're not traveling at that kind of speed. Okay, we are going a little bit fast, but not enough to transfer the weight of the car in a counter-steering moment.
Yes.
So how would you advise me to negotiate the ruts?
We don't usually try not to avoid the ruts in different scenarios, also different conditions. Now, if it's a very muddy trail, it's ideal to stay in the ruts because the wheels, once it travels in the rut, will automatically guide the vehicle. So you tend to stay on the trail, otherwise you'll go sliding off the trail and end up hitting the vehicle on obstacles, trees, all sorts of flora on the side, right?
Now, most of what we had encountered up to now was fairly easy for the crossover. And don't get us wrong, we were by no means going extreme for this challenge. But as we entered deeper into the trail, things started to get a bit trickier for both of us. And perhaps somewhat predictably, Ishraq's lack of four-wheel drive eventually caught up with him. This was my time to shine. Now, towing out a car may look easy, but there are a number of dangers involved. Thankfully, we had an expert with all the right equipment.
Okay, so what is this and how are we going to do it?
All right. So we have a recovery strap, Sam.
Okay.
I've already hooked the other side onto the CRV, and I would like you to hook this onto yours.
The recovery point that you mentioned earlier,
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
Okay. Tighten it all the way?
All the way through. And once it's locked, you unscrew it one. So that's pretty much when it finds tension.
Okay.
Sometimes this gets stuck and we find it difficult to take the shackle off, right?
Done.
All right, okay, fine.
Okay, I know you think I'm going to harp on about what just happened, but honestly, I've really enjoyed today's experience, and I think the CRV has got much further than we all expected.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was amazing, Sam, and I think this is all part of the 4x4 experience. I mean, if you come for a 4x4 experience and you don't get stuck in the mud, then you've not really enjoyed yourself properly. Ashan, let me hand this back to you. Just want to say thank you for being there to help us out and guide us through this day. It was an amazing experience, and I have a lot of respect for people who go trailblazing, off-roading 4x4, and it's something that I would definitely want to do again. Sam, what do you say?
Absolutely agree. Thank you, Ashan. If you want to have your own little adventure like this, check out Little Adventures on social media. And a big thanks to Ashan for sticking with us for the entire day. Thanks also to Malki Rent-A-Car for giving us the Land Cruiser Prado. And thank you for watching.
Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. This is the Exide MasterClass Shakedown, and we're going to be here with you for many more adventures.